It's me, Ndymario, and today I will be showing you how event controllers work in New Super Mario Bros. DS. I've set up a test level here to just show off some of the core fundamentals of an event. Now, as a preliminary, this video assumes you know the very basics of how to use New Super Mario Bros. Editor. If you don't know that, go look up another tutorial that explains how the editor works. Then once you've watched that, come back here. So first off, what is an event? An event is basically just, in the name, an event that happens in the game. For example, take this event trigger block. Think of it as like a light switch, how you can turn it on and you can turn it off. There are two kinds of event IDs. You have a target ID and you have a trigger ID. A target ID is used by event trigger blocks, question switches, anything that can trigger an event. And a trigger ID is the ID that Sprite listens for whenever an event is broadcasted. For example, when Mario hits this brick, it will activate an event with an ID of 1. This in turn would activate this, which is listening to trigger event 1. Sprite 256 here is a more complex example of what you can do with events. I have it set up to where when Mario hits this block, it will trigger this, but it also triggers this, which it'll activate 1, which both of these are doing, and then it'll also activate 2, then 3. The Tile God can create and destroy blocks. Now I have it set up here. These Tile Gods will destroy these 3 columns of wooden, stone, and regular brick blocks. And now, for zones. Zones are a pretty neat thing that you can use with events. To create a zone, go to the green bordered box in the editor, and you can hit add. This will create a zone. You can move it around with the corners, just like a tiles. All well and good. You can add more or just delete. I'm going to delete the new one. The zones, I typically start with 1. I don't think it matters, but it's just easier to keep in line. You can change the ID by clicking this here. Keep in mind that if you change a zone ID, anything that relied on that ID will need to manually be updated. Speaking of sprites that use zones, the biggest one is Sprite 168, the if controller. This has a target ID of 4, which activates this. And then you have a player zone ID, where this just looks for if the player is in this zone. You can also do this for enemies. You can also set it to 255 to where you don't need a zone. The entire map is a zone. You can also have it for the player to require power-up, such as not having one, Super, Fire, Mega, Mini, Blue, Shell, or the Starman. You can also set it to where Mario must be touching the ground, in the air, or on a vine to activate it. Usage mode, single, is like how this event controller block works, where once Mario walks into the zone, it activates the event, and that's it. Multiple use means that Mario can walk into this zone, activate it, walk out, walk in again, and activate it a second time. The third one is only while, where while Mario's inside the zone, it will activate this, and when Mario leaves the zone, it will be deactivated. To show you an example of it in game, let's head on over to the emulator. Okay, so in game, I've already skipped to after the cutscene. So first, level loads like normal. Okay, so these bricks, I can't go past them. There's nothing special going on. When I hit this brick, what's going to happen is that these bricks are going to get destroyed, followed by these, followed by these. If I hit it, you can see that's exactly what happens. Because the first column had the same target ID as 1, I can hit this again and the blocks will come back. Now, I've marked in the editor with these 4 bricks surrounding the zone. While Mario's in here, that blocks appears. If Mario tries to go jump on it, it destroys. This is because of the only while condition. And so that's basically all you need to know about events. Just look through the sprite list for more events that you can use in your levels. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you next time.